right, welcome back to the Shade Tree Garage. I want to review these decorations and the lessons learned. All right. Now up front, I have this large wreath lit with these large bulbs. Now I love these bulbs, and in fact, for the next Christmas parade, I plan to replace all the lights, Christmas tree, and all the lights in the car with these style. These are not LED though; they are incandescent, so they do draw a little more power. Now this wreath is attached to the grill about midways down, and it also has and you can probably see it, there's a zip tie that goes around the hood bird. Now the hood bird is, let's see here, unhook this. All right, now this allows me to reach down through here and raise the hood. Now, that is the inverter, and you can see I have it temporarily mounted, but sufficient. And this is a 1,000-watt inverter. You can see the battery voltage has already dropped from 12.4 to what it is now. And it has a health meter on the voltage scale there, and it tells you I'm putting out 119 volts. Now, it is clamped directly to my battery. And there's 2 extension cords on this end and a switch down here to cut it off and on. All right, so everything's lit back up again. All right, well, let's look around at the palette of presents on top. Now, one of the main attractions on the Chevy is this palette of presents. Now, let's take a closer look. All right. Nice big pile of wrap presents. Now, this wood is 1/4-inch Luan. It's pretty flimsy, which is why I have 2 pool noodles stuck beneath it to help support it. Otherwise, it's got a big bow in it. Now these bars hold up the wood. These rooftop bars. These date from 1970. My father had these for his Plymouth when he was helping my brother move to Southern Illinois University. Now I've got bungee cords galore, but these are something special. I don't know if you could see it or not. This bungee cable or cape strap has these nice hooks on the end. This end is fixed and it's wrapped around the bar and hooked. This end, as you can see, is adjustable. You can adjust the length, and of course it stretches like crazy. So the question was how to secure the roof bars to the car. Well, originally it came with clamps that would hook under the rain gutter, but the 70-year-old rain gutter does not fit the straps the same way as as modern rain gutters. So all the modern clamps that I tried would not work with the 55 Chevy rain gutter, but we found what did. We used these bungee straps with hooks and stretched it out and down to hook on the mirror. Now that worked really well. You can see the strap laying on the roof on the other side. So the bars on it were secured with the bungee straps, and also in the back. Let me show you. In the back, same sort of deal, bungee straps, and they're connected to the hinge. You can see it connected to the hinge for the upper half of the wagon hatch. All right, and so those go around, hooked to this roof bar. Now the roof bars are secured to the luan, to the wood, with these screws. I've got nuts and bolts securing this luan to the bars underneath, and that in turn secures the pallet of presents. Now, how are the presents secured? Well, they're secured pretty well. The secret is that on the bottom of all the first layer of presents, I cut the wrapping paper off and apply liberal amounts of hot glue on the bottoms of each present, which glue it to this luan right nicely. Now for the second layer, the other presents, every mating surface, start over. Now for the rest of the presents, every mating surface where a box touches another, I cut the wrapping paper off with a razor knife and glued them together again with hot glue. So it looks like a random stack of presents, but let me tell you, that's a solid stack of presents. In fact, I was fairly certain they would not move, but it was keeping them on top of the car was the real concern. But everything rode great. You can see we've got auxiliary bungee cords going over side to side, and then strapping the presents down to the pallet, and then bungee cords going down the back to the hatch hinges as well to help keep everything secure. Now, in the back, we have our Christmas tree stuck in the back and hanging out, and along with our Dollar Tree star ornament topper. All right, this was a $40 purchase at a thrift store. It didn't have lights on it. These are lights repurposed from my 56 Plymouth parade entry from 2 years ago. All right, so that was it. That is everything. You go up here and turn the lights in Voida off. Where's the switch? All right, well, that's the grand tour of our decorated 55 Chevy wagon for our local Christmas parade. Now, amazingly, the problem we had, none of the lights worked. Well, actually, they worked, but then we had not tested the car at night with all the lights on and operating at an idle for a lengthy period of time. And the low voltage protection on the inverter kicked in just as we got started in the parade. So the lights went out, I reset the inverter, and the lights went off again. At some point, when the inverter detects voltage below 12 volts, it'll kick off as a protection. Now, I had hoped there'd been some way to defeat that. Nope, it's hardwired that way. Now that, and the frustrating thing is, I had 125 amp, I think that's it, 125 amp. I bought a new alternator this year and put it on there. And, it's built-in self-regulator and all that stuff. And I don't know, maybe the battery just was marginally charged when I started. And that's possible, because I'd operated the inverter off the battery extensively, actually, in testing all this, making sure that it was going to work. So, I may have been my own worst enemy in that case, because the lights died at the beginning of the parade, and I couldn't. I reset the inverter, no go. no go. And then I'm looking at the voltmeter inside the car, and it's lower than I've ever seen it. In daylight time, when I'm operating, it's between like 12 and a half to 13 volts and stays there. At night, with all the lights on and the inverter running, it dropped below 12 volts. And it didn't take much below 12 before the protection to kick in. So it did protect. It kept the inverter from running the battery down, but it also kept my lights from running. And that was disappointing. Though, fortunately, throughout the parade route, there's enough light downtown at dark to people got the idea. They liked, a lot of people really liked the car with the presents on top and the tree hanging out the back. So learned many lessons for next year. Number one, I'm either going to have a brand new battery under the hood if I run this inverter off of the car battery, or probably more likely what I will do is to get a storage battery, say an AGM storage battery, and get it good and charged and use that to operate the lights. There's not that much drain on the inverter to run the lights. It's just not that big a drain. The issue was just the car. They had replaced this battery in November 2024 because they were having charging issues. The battery would go down overnight, and they had a parasitic drain, and they were trying to fix it. They thought, well, it's the battery or the alternator. They didn't change the alternator. They put a new battery in it. It didn't fix it because the parasitic drain was a wiring error on the alternator, of all things. Anyway, live and learn, and so we'll probably use the same type of decorations next year in the Christmas parade. The wreath will stay the same it is on the front. We will build a new pallet of presents for the roof, and probably make them a little wider and not so high, because it just barely cleared the 10-foot overhead door when I had it open. I mean, the ribbons on top scraped the door. So I need to watch the height when trying to get out of here. The bars, the pallet, the Luan, I mean, and the bars work great. Everything else worked great. The bungee cords, the bungee straps, and I can't say enough good things about those. And I will put a link down below to those bungee straps. Those things are great. And just having, I love bungee cords. I mean, they're useful. Use them all the time, but they're not adjustable. These bungee straps have all the give and stretch of a bungee cord, but you can adjust the length. And therein lies their real utility. All right, guys. Now, despite the fact our lights died on us early in the parade, we won Best Decorated Vehicle in that category. Despite everything else, we still didn't win any, but just won the top winner in that category, Best Decorated Vehicle. Most of the other vehicles in the parade were just vehicles, classic cars, that sort of thing, with no decoration. So I don't know. We may there were 3 winners in that category, and we were number 1. So I was shocked. But I had many people tell me how much they appreciated, they liked my decorations. So we'll do something very similar next year. Lesson learned, though, about the inverter and the battery and the lights. Now these are small LED lights, that are wrapped around the tree and the presents. I will be switching to the larger bulbs, incandescent style, for the parade next year. That's the plan anyway. Everything may change. A lot of people said that our decorations gave them a Christmas Vacation vibe. Now, if you recall, on Christmas Vacation, they had a whole tree, root ball and all, stretched across the top of their wagon. And that's not the case here. But and not that I would ever want to do that with my wagon, but I really wasn't going for that. That may have inspired me subconsciously, but anyway, my wife and I put our brains together, and we kind of switched between whether to put the tree on top or put it inside. And I felt like we could make a nice pile of presents and put those up top. So I'd even thought about putting a bicycle on top, but that would not have cleared the doorway, getting it out. All right, guys. Well, that was our Christmas parade entry, top to bottom. And I've got a shorter video here about the lessons learned. So if you may want to look that over. All right, that's going to do it for this update from the Shade Tree Garage. All right, Christmas is coming next week. My goal for the near term, especially while the weather's in the 50s, is to take the decorations off the car, and then get ready come the first of the year to start on a couple of jobs that have been waiting. Number one, I have to redo all of the glass and the mechanisms in the driver's door, and I've got that waiting over here on the bench to rehab, new fuzzies, tracks, etc. The next job will be door panels. I've got door panels sitting right over here, still in the box, and I've got vinyl to cover them with and the adhesive to do it with. So door panels, and then carpet. I need to put some carpet in. I've got rat fink floor mats though to go on top of that carpet, but they're in there right now. All right, guys. Well, I hope you all have a very wonderful Christmas with your family, and I hope you get a chance to get out in the garage if you need to. But my goal is to get everything where I want it so I can leave, not come back to the garage for a few days. Now that's kind of hard for me. If the weather is reasonably warm, in the 50s, it's like, why not go to the garage? I've got plenty to do. I have a new Cobalt or Yukon. My wife's Christmas present is right here. A brand new Yukon toolbox. Real happy about that. All right, well, I got some hot coffee to take care of before it gets cold. All right, take care. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time from here in the Shade Tree Garage.